Welcome to Reality NSFW. I'm Lauren Pratt, and joining me, as always, is my great co-host, Alex Trias. We're here tonight to break down episode number 8 of the challenge, Double Agents. I can't believe we've been doing this for 2 months now, and I'm living for this season. It's been a good one. Tonight's episode was very interesting. The daily was extremely long, but we still got fairly good content out of it, and it was a very weird, awkward, cringeworthy elimination.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Other people would say it's comical. The reaction to that person winning was comical. Congrats on beating, no offense, Michi, the layup. But at least the mission was, I like the old-fashioned physical challenges like that, and that's sort of mixed to old school comps that I love in the mud competitions and the pole wrestle. So I enjoyed it.
There were interesting moments in the daily for sure, because people definitely use strategy in order to get the victory for themselves. And then you had people that were not so happy with the way things turned out, and we will get into that. Especially Lolo. She definitely popped off this episode, and I'm gotta say I'm not surprised by it at all.
No, it was only a matter of time till the edit showed us more of what we've seen of Lolo in other iteration or other TV shows. But we'll get into that. But we start the episode. They get back to the house. Cam and Leroy are celebrating, and they are trying to figure out who they want to be matched up with in the end if they can't match up with each other, so that they have double the chance of winning the money. But Cam does say, next time there's a girls' elimination, we need to get Teresa out.
I agree with Cam. Gotta get Teresa out. Just because Teresa's caused so much controversy within the season, and she's a great villain. She's definitely a villain on this season. We didn't get to see as much of her on this episode, which tells me that she probably goes far, because we saw so much of her in the previous one, and then she was definitely quieter in this one. So I'm just playing on how the edit's looking with her. I do agree, though, with Cam and Leroy's potential strategy of saying, you know what, let's be teamed up with 2 other strong people, and that gives us a better chance of winning the money. Because if they intend to stay together, which I do think they will, because they seem as though a happy couple, then they get the money no matter who wins.
Yeah, and with the Teresa of it all, it sort of makes sense for Cam twofolds. One, you have when you go against Cam has her target set on you. But on another sense, we just watched 2 episodes ago Teresa compete very well in a final mission. So I think Cam does see Teresa not just as someone who's against her, but someone who could be a threat in the end game. So might as well maybe help a friend out, or just get her down there and hope that someone strong takes her out. Because if you're Cam and you have this confidence that no matter who you're up against, you can compete well, get rid of the people you don't like.
Right on, because Teresa, as you just said, saw her in that mini final. She was great. Her endurance is there. And we've talked about this before. We don't know the full breakdown of how the final is going to look like. But if I'm one of the guys, I want to be partnered with Teresa, because there's so many elements in a final that require that type of endurance. Yes, you have puzzles. Teresa's also intelligent. So there's so many reasons why guys getting towards the end would want to have her as a partner. Maybe they don't like her, but at that moment, who cares? You're there to win, and if she's the best person that's going to help you win, you're going to take her.
Exactly, and there's definitely worse options than Teresa for a final. Maybe during the game, there's a lot of better options than Teresa, but if you're thinking end game, Teresa is I would say, above the mid-tier of women remaining for you would want to have as a partner for a final.
100%.
Yeah. So we transitioned from a great couple of Leroy and Cam to the ever dysfunctioning couple of Oil and Vinegar. We got Nam and Lolo.
I just don't have words for them, because you root for them so hard at the beginning. They were functioning well with each other. And then all of a sudden it went downhill very, very quickly, and they cannot get on the same page at all. I don't even know how they're able to even communicate back and forth with each other at this moment, because anytime we see them talking, I look at Lolo's face and I look at Nam's face, and they want to be anywhere else but in that same room with each other.
Yeah, like not you hear Nam talk about how, like Lolo's very aggressive, and obviously he's the exact opposite. He's very reserved and inward, so he's not going to be outwardly aggressive. And they're both strong people in that sense of their beliefs of how things are done, so they're just clashing. But we do get, I think, some good insight from Lolo, because we're not hearing it from some other people. We do end up hearing it from CT. Lolo's figuring out the reason why we're not getting targeted even though we're rookies is we're strong. So the other teams are like, we're just not going to put you in the elimination. We're going to get to the end of the game. You both still don't have skulls. You guys don't get to compete.
It makes complete sense, because the other thing we don't know is obviously all the skulls are going to run out. 10 total people are going to have them. Then people are going to start stealing them. You can still steal from someone prior to all of them being taken, but we just don't know how many extra rounds they're going to go before they say, too bad, you didn't get a skull, you're out of the game.
Yeah, and you hear from Nani later in the game, it's like, you don't know if it's going to be one elimination, a double elimination, a purge. Like, we don't know what's going to come next. So if you have a chance to go and get your skull, take the risk. Go for it. Worst case scenario is you go home this season, but if you are entertaining enough, you will be brought back.
That's the biggest thing. You have to be entertaining for them to bring you back. You have to give them a small snippet of yourself saying, yes, bring me back for future seasons because I can provide the entertainment that you are looking for, which is why we continue to see Josh come back season after season, because apparently people think that his tangents are entertaining. Yes, it was at the beginning, but now every time I see it, I'm over it. Luckily, we didn't get that this episode, so I'm happy about that.
Well, we got a different type of Josh this episode, but yeah. I will be devil's advocate here on the Josh thing of maybe that is why they cast him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you need people on the cast that you could have fans root against, and there are going to be people that are Josh fans that are rooting for him and think like they admire his passion, which you could say is a nicety of it. He's very passionate. You see how they try to give him the soft edit of, he's a family guy. Everything he does on these shows, he wants to win so that he can provide for his family who gave him the life that he has. So there's admirable intentions behind him, but then you just get the goofiness of him that you're just like, okay, I think I've had enough Josh for this episode.
I agree. And going back to his Big Brother season and everything, I found him to be more rootable in that type of setting than I have in the challenge setting. So it's just kind of what you're looking for in characters. People either like people, they dislike people, they're kind of meh, neutral. So it's all about what people are looking for when they're watching a season. I'm going to like someone more than you are, and you're going to maybe not like that person at all, or you're going to dislike them. It just depends on you as a viewer.
Exactly. That's the great thing about television. We all get to choose who we root for, who we don't root for. But you need to have people that you don't root for so that you can root for the people that you like more.
All the way.
With that, we then transition to a lot of the guys talking about there's only one gold skull left. Corey's talking about he needs to get that gold skull. Michi wants to be able to win a daily so that he can decide his fate. Boy, your fate's going to be decided, all right. But then you hear Devin and Kyle, which is the more important part of this conversation, talking about Devin's like, let's just put Josh and Fessy in there. Maybe we get some sort of miracle. Josh takes Fessy out, and then the rest of the people can either get their skull or go after Josh. And Kyle obviously is still on his vendetta, wants blood on Fessy and Anissa.
That's an excellent strategy because, as Devin said, if Fessy ends up going home, no biggie. You get rid of a big guy there. That's awesome for them. Then say Josh wins that. He has a skull, but people are going to go after Josh's skull before they're going to go after your skulls. It's an excellent strategy all around.
Yeah. And there's really not much else there. The only other thing of note we get is a very quick Amber B confessional talking about her loyalties. It was the first time we've seen her talk. It's the first time we've seen her talk about the Big Brother alliance since Casey was talking about it in the first episode. And in this episode, you do hear her talk about, I have the girls that I have Amber M, Gabby, Big T. However, my main loyalties still lie with my Big Brother alumni of Casey, Josh, Fessy, and Lolo. So we now know officially on the show that Lolo is part of this alliance.
Yes, because Casey was on the expert podcast with Jonny, Zack, and Marie Roda, and she was explaining on there that when she was giving that confessional regarding the Big Brother people, Lolo was also included, but they cut that out from the editing portion of it. So I enjoyed hearing Amber B speak her mind and explain which side she's truly on, because I always kind of thought she somewhat sided more with the rookies because we've seen her more with the rookies, which also showcases to me that Amber B has game. She's a great social player because she's able to integrate herself with the rookies, and then she doesn't really have to say much to the Big Brother people because they think that she's in lockstep with them as well. So her game has been very underrated, and I'm glad that we're able to see it come to fruition right now.
Yeah, so I actually do want to take a little side road here because there wasn't a lot that happened this episode, so we can start talking about it now. And it's mainly Amber B, but also the Amber B, Amber M of it all that happens this episode. So with Amber B, I find it interesting with the challenge this season because they needed to fill their storylines for the people who got out earlier. Mm-hmm. So we weren't getting anything of Amber B. I think like the first 4 episodes, she maybe had one confessional total. Like, I think she was essentially wallpaper. We didn't know anything going on with her. So we're just like, oh, she's just there. This episode and last episode is sort of like they're slowly peeling and adding her more and more into the show, giving her a storyline. And it makes me very intrigued. You had Nani and now Cam both talking about Amber B's very social. Her social game's very good. Like, she could be a very dangerous player on the challenge. And it's sort of like is bringing a light bulb like popped in my head. I'm like, maybe was this a slow burn?
The fact that they're pointing it out makes me think that we could see a little bit of a run from Amber B, which I would not be upset about. I really wanted to see her have her chance to shine on a reality television show after everything that happened with her and Big Brother. So I'm glad she got a chance to be able to be part of this challenge season. And I think we're going to see a little bit more from her because she keeps getting more and more confessionals. And actually, when she gives the confessionals, she's really good at them.
Yeah, I think she's very articulate. She's very precise with what she wants to be saying, and you can tell there's thought behind it. And I feel like she gives it out in a very mature sense. So it's sort of like it's taken in nicely as a viewer because you're just like, she's not shouting at you. She's not like being very animated. She's like, this is how it is. I have loyalties. She seems normal. And that's relatable.
I love how you brought up shouting too, because that's so much of what happens in Big Brother when they do their DRs. Everyone's shouting in their DRs, and that drives me nuts. And the fact that she's able to just be calm, mellow, cool, and collected, give the confessional, let us know what's happening. I'm here for it. Amber B, hope she does well because she's giving us something different that we haven't seen in a while. She's also being able to showcase that you can play a very social game in a challenge season. And I haven't heard anyone say that they dislike her. So that's showing me that she has connections with a bunch of people.
Well, we are about to hear someone who dislikes her. And that's Amber M of it all. Amber M sort of Amber B ends up telling her after the fact that your name's going out there. And Amber M is going, well, I need to know that you vote to keep me in the game and you don't put me in as the house vote. And they both go the winners of the mission and go, one goes, don't reveal the vote. And the other one goes, please reveal Amber B's vote to me.
Well, we're going to see that probably unfold in the next episode.
I think after this episode, the rookie girls are essentially going to be done as an alliance.
I don't know. We're going to see what happens, but that's why I enjoy this season so far because it has been unpredictable in different parts of it.
Okay. With that, it's mission time, and we are getting a very physical competition, literally called All Brawl, and it was very long and had 3 phases. So we saw in total 8 rounds.
I think it ate up about 45 minutes of the show altogether. And like you just said, super, super long, but we get a little bit out of it. We saw some good strategy from people on how they were able to win their specific heat. And I will say the end portion of it in phase 3 was a little bit of a downer for me. But
Yeah, and we can talk about that when we get there, because I think there would have been a more fun end game if one of the teams wasn't there.
correct. Yes.
So let's go into the first phase. So it's women first. With All Brawl, the first round, there's 5 people that go at a time. They rush into a mud pit and they're scavenging through the mud, trying to find the iconic relic of the challenge, which is just a pole, an X bar. And then once you have it, run out to the finish line. Winner moves to phase 2. So first 5 is females. We got Anissa, Big T, Lolo, Cam, and Nani. Lolo is ready to get her aggression out, and Big T is ready to be in a spa.
Lolo is ready to get her aggression out, but so is Anissa.
Oh, yeah. So after Anissa says how they all look like hippos, just wandering around in the mud, Nani finds it, and instead of just trying to run and win, she picks it up and screams that she has it. Not a great move, Nani.
No, the best part of it all, though, was at the beginning where Kyle was yelling out, Nani has it, and everyone's looking around all
No, I don't.
That was my favorite part before Nani outed herself for having it. You have to be secretive, and we see that with future strategies, but she literally just starts screaming, and then everyone's like, I'm going to come in and tackle you now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we see Lolo get to her first, and Lolo's sort of like trying to rip it out, and she does rip it out for a brief moment of time, but while they're still tangling, Anissa tackles Lolo so that Nani can run, and while she has Lolo down and Lolo no longer has the relic, she sort of puts her in a bit of a chokehold, and Lolo took extreme offense to that, and then Nani flings the X-Bar for whatever reason. Cam picks it up and trots in and wins.
I think that's Cam's easiest win ever. She really did not have to do anything.
She was like, oh, it's gifted to me.
Right, just in the right place at the right time. Let me just run across the finish line, get that easy win. I get to chill out, watch everyone else go. I will say this regarding Anissa and Lolo. I'm sorry, but I've seen way worse on the challenge, and Anissa is correct. They would have called her out for it, and TJ always calls people out for dirty play, and he never said anything, and I guarantee they would have shown us that.
Yeah, but I can also understand Lolo's side of it, and especially when you are an athlete and your adrenaline is pumping. If something goes against you, you're going to react more aggressively because you have all that energy in you. And we heard from the beginning, she had a lot of aggression that she wanted to vent out. And so she let that aggression out by completely raging on Anissa, but positive, because we haven't heard this much from Lolo, from her other shows. Lolo is self-aware of her issues.
At least
that's a big positive to have, because it's very hard for any of us to admit our weaknesses.
It's a solid point right there. I just think the meltdown that she had was very unnecessary. And this is also where you see Amber B come in there. Amber B's trying to diminish that for Lolo, taking her helmet off, saying it's okay. And that's why I think Amber B is great, because I'm sorry, if I'm seeing Lolo popping off, I'm the last person that's going to go near her and try and calm her down. But Amber B somehow was able to say to herself, I'm just going to go up to Lolo and see what I can say to make her feel better and more comfortable with the situation. So hats off to Amber B for stepping up there and feeling comfortable to do that, because there's no way I go near Lolo if she's popping off.
I also did, like, as a side comic, Darrell saying, welcome to the challenge, girl. This ain't the Olympics.
Yes, Darrell.
We don't get a lot of Darrell, but Darrell gives good one-liners.
He does. And they always seem to put his one-liners in if he is able to deliver with them. So with Darrell, you always want to hope that he's going to be on the season more than he is in terms of confessionals. But you're right. He's not someone that's normally going to drive the storyline. However, if he does have something good to say, they're going to put it in there because Darrell's a legend. He's iconic. He is someone that the viewers want to see time and time again.
Exactly. Which, going into that, he's not in this round, but the second round is 5 guys. It's Fessy, Josh, Kyle, Michi, and Nam. Kyle is worried because he has a lot of stuff that people can fuck with. And in this challenge, they can grab whatever they want.
Such a Kyle statement. However, glad that we got Kyle given his confessionals this episode. Super funny up to even this point. And I'm happy that we saw people actually fighting in this daily because the last one was so disappointing to me. And I'm happy TJ lit a fire under everyone's ass and basically told them, put up or shut up.
I think it was easier for this one to be more because, like, for example, with Darrell's like, if I'm on the ground, I will do stuff. I think a lot of them just got they got scared. They forgot to bring their balls with them when they were on that cargo of balls on the helicopter, but they were here ready to go for this. But I liked in this round, you started to see more strategy here. Mm-hmm. So the 2 distinct strategies of this round, we saw Josh and Fessy sort of like splitting both ends of the mud pit, one guarding the entrance, one guarding the exit. In the event that neither of them find it, they're like, well, then we should obviously be able to stop whoever does get it.
Here's the deal. They had that strategy, and it normally would work if both of the people doing it were both extremely intelligent.
True. But you know who is intelligent because he has an engineering degree? Nam.
Yes.
And Nam finds it, and he's like, oh, I need to look like I have no idea what I'm doing, toss a couple of rocks around, and just keep squatting and find my opportunity, which he does. And then he just easily gets out before anyone touches him and gets the win for the second round.
The only thing I would find suspicious is Nam looked like he was hanging in that spot for way too long. Yeah. And I'm not sure how many seconds he was there, but if I'm someone that's watching while looking and I see someone lingering that long, I'm going to go near them because he was taking a little bit too long. And that's why I just said regarding intelligent people, they just kind of chilled and did not pay attention at all and let Nam get an easy victory. Exactly.
Which gets us to the third round. We got Gabby, Casey, Teresa, and the Ambers. And Teresa's frustrated. She wants to win. Gabby said she's going to be like a pig in shit and just go to town. That was a great line. I love that.
Teresa should have asked Amber B if Amber B would throw her the win again.
Oh my God. I think it was essentially the same group. Like if you swapped Casey with Lolo, it's the same exact group.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But Teresa is the first one to find the relic. But as Anissa said, Teresa didn't have a poker face. And it had like this big shit-eating grin on her face. And then once she like started to come up, all the girls just went on top of her. Gabby finds her way through, wrestles it out, and gets the win.
It was nice to see some fight out of Gabby. Glad she was able to pull out the victory in phase 1. However, the next phase might not be so favorable.
No, well, there's a reason for that, but as we know, she is a personal trainer, so she isn't a slack off here. She has some fitness background, so I think she's more than capable. It's just there's degrees. There's Gabby's and then there's Cam's. But we get to the final round of the first phase, and it's Darrell, Devin, CT, Leroy, and Corey. And this was it was very quick. It was a CT show. CT's just standing there, and everyone's like, hey, CT has it in his legs. He's like, no, I don't. As he's walking very awkwardly, straight-legged through the mud, and then just picks it up and wins.
Why did no one go near him? I did not understand that because everyone was shouting that CT had it.
Well, would you want to go up to CT?
No, I wouldn't go up to CT by myself, but if I'm with another group of people that could potentially help us tag team CT and let someone else win, why not do it? I'm not going to just sit there and let one singular person just dominate the whole group. If you have to align with people, it's the name of the game. And if you knew that CT was going to win it right off the bat, don't even go in the mud.
Yeah. I just loved also, like, as he was picking up, they cut very quickly to his to a confessional where he just goes, "Surprise, motherfucker!" as he wins. He has all the old sayings, and like he dresses like as if he's in like the 1940s when he goes to the club. Like I love this version of CT.
CT is great. He'll always be one of my favorite challenge competitors. And it's just been great to see how he's evolved from his earlier seasons and then now coming back and still being just as popular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then with that, we're now on to phase 2. So you're going to have Cam versus Gabby and CT versus Nam. In phase 2, the rule is you both start with your hands on the relic. You must pry it out of the other person's hands and then get out of the mud, and you win and go to phase 3. We can start with Cam and Gabby, even though they went second. Cam ragdolls her, pries it out, and wins, and looks as if she did nothing.
All right, give Gabby a little bit of credit. She did not just lay down and die. She gave it her
I
best.
didn't say she'd lay down and die. I'm just saying Cam ragdolled her.
I know, but I want to give Gabby just a slightly bit more of credit. I think she showed us some fight. If she was going up, I would have wanted to see her go up against somebody else because I think Gabby would have a good shot.
Yeah, I don't want to discredit Gabby. It was just funny, the visual of it all. I'm like, oh, she just got ragdolled. Then we get into a little more competitive one with CT and Nam. And Nam's like, oh, this could be my moment. This could be like a rookie win. I could beat CT, who's a legend. You need to know what you're messing with when you are going against the OG and CT. And CT's done so many of these. He immediately goes on the offensive, which is what you need to do in this. You can't be defensive in this or you're going to put yourself in a losing battle. CT pushes Nam straight into the ground and just is like, I'm just going to stay on top of him. I have him right where I want him. And then eventually is able to pry it out from him and wins.
It's the best strategy because they don't have any leverage really from the ground. So they're just holding on for dear life where you can kind of get stable with the ground and pull up on them because eventually they're going to get tired from holding on so long. Mm-hmm. And if you also take into account your face is full of mud, your vision's blurred, and if someone's hovering over you, eventually you're going to tire out by being on the bottom.
Absolutely. So we get to phase 3 and everyone's wondering, well, what's happening? We have one girl and one guy left. Like, what's the deal? And so TJ announces phase 3, the winners and their partners will now be competing. And you need to rip the relic out of the hands of your opponent. You don't have to get out of the mud. You just have to have sole possession of the relic. But you need to win both the men and female rounds, and you will keep going until that happens. Kyle's sort of nervous here. He's beaten CT in a pole wrestle before, but it involved 3 people, and you weren't in mud. And
I don't remember who the third person was. I know it was
a nobody.
Yeah, I can't even remember who it was. It was a great battle though between the 3 of them, but Kyle's right. There's another person in there and that definitely changes it. As I've said before, if you have someone else ganging up on one singular person, it gives you more of an opportunity to win it.
Yeah. But CT's pissed. He's like what are we doing here? Why are we wasting all of our time? Big T's not going to beat Cam in this. So what? Am I supposed to just be fighting Kyle forever? I can't even beat Cam.
Well, it was funny hearing him say that he can't even beat Cam. And CT's right. Why would you want to exhaust yourself so many times going against Kyle time and time again if you can beat him? And you know Big T's not going to win. We love her to death. No shot in hell. And if I'm CT, I do not want to tire myself more because you never know. You could go into the crater and he needs all the energy that he can, all the strength that he has in him to be able to perform well in elimination. So CT's absolutely correct.
Yeah, and like I do feel bad for Big T in that event where she's just like standing there, just like, I know, I'm back. It was like, as a viewer, it was entertaining to watch, but at the same time, like if I'm Big T's partner, I'm like, I understand this sucks. I would just be like, okay, we're probably not going to win this, but just try your best. Or you make a deal with Cam and Kyle, be like, hey, if we can get like a weak group as a house vote, can you throw us in and give us an opportunity? I don't think, and they didn't do that, but I think that's what they should have done.
Well, you have to give Big T credit because she at least went in and gave it a go. She attempted. Yeah.
Yeah, like Cam won. There was a little bit of a struggle, but at the end of it all, Cam wasn't going to lose that. Kyle and CT go. I don't think CT was going full, like, 100%. I would say CT was putting like a 50% effort there. It's like I'll try, but I'm not going out of my way to win at this point. And Kyle gets a win over him. Also, Devin's confessional was great.
Well, you have to realize too, CT just won against Nam. Kyle was over there resting. That's another big factor. And CT probably thought to himself, "There's no point of me going round after round." And the way it just unfolded with Kyle, you could tell that CT didn't give it his all, even though Kyle can sit there and say, well, I beat CT again. Did you really?
Yeah, and we hear Devin say that, which was a great confessional.
Yes, it was. That's why they have Devin here. He's driving the storyline this season.
Yeah, and with that, we have Kyle and Cam as our double agents, and we'll see the aftermath of that after this break.
Winter's here, and it's crazy cold outside. But what you don't know is you should still drink more water. By the time you feel thirsty, it's too late. You're already dehydrated. You can't focus and you feel tired.
Drinking enough water is critical for a healthy lifestyle that you're trying to maintain. It increases your brain power, boosts your productivity. It can prevent headaches and it'll increase your focus. Not only that, it improves your skin and mood, and it can help with your digestion and give you energy. Wow, it also prevents bad breath and can help you lose weight. But how much water should you drink each day? 10 cups? A gallon? The good news is that it doesn't have to be so complicated. That's why I start my day with Hydrant, because Hydrant helps you hydrate faster.
Hydrant has created a refreshing electrolyte powder that you mix directly into water to more efficiently and effectively hydrate your body. It hydrates you quickly and keeps you going for longer. Each rapid hydration mix has the 4 essential electrolytes that your body needs: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and zinc, and it packs a punch to help your body hydrate fast and stay hydrated. If you're looking for that extra boost of energy, there's also Hydrant Plus Caffeine, which contains 100 milligrams of caffeine from green tea. Hydrant is backed by research. The formula was developed by an Oxford scientist. It also is loved by pro athletes, top performers, celebrities, and has thousands of 5-star reviews.
It's made with real fruit juice powder. It's delicious and refreshing, and it comes in a variety of flavors, including iced tea lemonade and fruit punch. My favorite personally is the grapefruit. It's a classic and I go back to it. It's delicious. Plus, this stuff is backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't love it, you can send it back for a full refund. You really need to try it for yourself to see what I'm talking about. It tastes incredible and it works.
Well, Hydrant starts at just $1 a packet for a 30-day supply, and you save even more with a monthly subscription. And it's so easy to get. We've got a special deal for our listeners to save 25% off your first order. We're not kidding here, folks. 25%. Go to drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout. That's drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter promo code SURVIVOR for 25% off your first order. That's drinkhydrant.com/survivor. Enter promo code SURVIVOR to save 25%. And we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. Growing up, cereal was one of the best parts of being a kid, but I had to give it up because I realized it was full of sugar and junk that you really shouldn't eat.
I've been trying to cut down on carbs, sugar, and unhealthy food and realized I basically can't eat anything anymore.
Now, I've been drinking protein shakes and powder for years, but finally found a delicious way to get my protein before and after workouts.
And I know New Year just hit us and we're all trying to eat better if we're sticking true to our goals, but healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love, but without any of that bad stuff you want to avoid.
But Zack, Magic Spoon has released a brand new variety pack now featuring peanut butter.
Nice! They released peanut butter as a limited edition flavor in 2020, and it sold out 3 times. Peanut butter's gotten so much love that they've decided to keep it permanent and add it to the bestseller variety pack, which also includes frosty, fruited, and cocoa.
0 sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. We're talking only 140 calories a serving.
Plus, it's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. I love Magic Spoon cereal, and I am so stoked that peanut butter is here to stay, and it's so good mixing it with the cocoa. Excellent. That's how I like to start my morning. Jonny, what's your favorite?
Oh yeah, the cocoa peanut butter combo. Now, I'm not going to say what my favorite candy is because I try not to eat candy, but it's the cocoa and peanut butter combo. That's what's going on, and that has changed my mornings for the rest of my life.
Oh, it's so good. So you should head to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab a variety pack yourself and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout to save $5 off your order.
And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. That's magicspoon.com/survivor, and be sure to use promo code SURVIVOR at checkout to save $5 with your order.
Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/survivor and use the code SURVIVOR to save $5. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
And we're back. And so we're getting a lot of the women's perspectives heading out of that mission. So just to jump through some of them, Nany knows she needs to get down to the crater at some point to get her skull. Amber M feels they are, her and Michi are on the chopping block because everyone's saying that they're the weakest team, the weakest competitors. Amber B, again, saying she needs to stick with the BB Alliance over Amber M. And Lolo still can't let Chick go about getting choked.
No, she's sitting there on the couch with Amber M, going through that scenario yet again. And I'm sure that it has happened a day or so later from the actual incident, which I find interesting in itself. And I enjoy that we hear Amber B's little tidbit of being in the middle, not really knowing what direction to go in, but then explicitly stating, you know what, Big Brother, they're my alliance. I'm loyal to them, which kind of makes sense because that group somewhat has more of the power in the house at the moment. And if she were to go against them, she would be public enemy #1 in their eyes.
Yeah, because you even hear Cam talking about that. It's like, I don't want to put like 2 Big Brother groups down there. Like, I'll be in the same vote as how I am with Teresa. You know, like if I put 2 of them down, the rest of them are now going to be coming for me. So let's not do that. Let's put that in the box, put it over there. We'll come back to that on a later date. Kyle, stop.
And the other thing, too, you're going to make friends with people that are outside of your alliance. That's just the way the game works. You somewhat gravitate towards more people, but you have to go with the people that you know you can fully trust. And that seems to be the Big Brother Alliance at the moment. I haven't heard any of them say that they want to go against each other or take one another out at this moment. So it's in Amber B's best interest to stick with them.
Yeah, exactly. And then so we sort of go from all that to Kyle and Cam discussing. And as I said, Kyle sort of pitching to Cam, let's get Fessy and Nisa to be the house vote. And then we throw in like Josh and Nany and force them, whoever goes in, one of them goes out. Like, let's have this chaos. And Cam's like, okay, yeah, let's go with the evil plan that's going to get a target on our backs. How about no, let's just, let's get them to owe us something. So let's get Josh and Nany down there. Let's get them against Amber M and Michi. One of them should win that. And then they should be able to owe us because we did this favor for them.
Whenever Kyle gets screwed over, he always wants revenge, and it's good for him to have a partner such as Cam who's able to bring him back down, explain to him that might not be the best strategy because you're actually going to piss more people off, and they're going to come after you whenever the fallout occurs within the elimination, because whether it is a guy or a girl going in, it's still going to make people pissed off at you. And obviously she didn't say it, but if you look at what happened with Teresa and Jay, it wasn't his fault. He still got blamed for the entire move, and his ass got sent home.
Yeah. And there's going to be people that are going to call like Cam a hypocrite here for like, oh, Kyle, you can't get your revenge, but I went and got mine. The reason why Cam was able to do her like revenge tours right now with like CT, like for the one time, and then she got over it. And then with Teresa, currently, she's picking a person who done her wrong, but also doesn't have numbers to back them up. If you throw Fessy, Anissa, Josh, and Nani all down there together, you then get all of the Big Brother Alliance against you, and most likely their partners will follow suit.
There's too many inner workings there, because you also have to take into account Anissa and Nani. I'm not really sure where their friendship level is on this season, but they have past history with each other as well. So if they can come together and say, you know what, now we have a common enemy, you just don't know how it's going to unfold. Especially that's the whole partner dynamic that plays a factor in everything, because without the partners, it's a different season. However, you're having to count on someone else that could be in a different alliance than yourself, and you need to balance it out where you're not pissing off people that are going to hurt you, but you can't also piss off people that are going to hurt your partner.
Yeah, right on. And with that, it's club time. We're going to the club. CT's wearing his like 1920s hat and is having a good time. But we also see a serious conversation between him and Big T. They're both sort of apologizing to each other for everything that happened with the mission. And we get a confessional, or he makes a pinky promise with Big T that if Big T and him can win their skulls, they'll ride it out together to the final. But we also hear from him sort of like, man, I should have just said yes to Cam right at the beginning. I guess we're just going to have to chalk this up as a rebuild year, but let's help Big T out.
I don't know if I can fully buy it. There's just no way, with so much money on the line, if CT has an opportunity to drop Big T when it gets closer to the final, I think he's going to do it. I know he said that he's going to stick by her side, but money talks.
Money does talk. And hey, it may not even be his decision. Because say it's a girls' elimination day when they go down there and Big T loses, then it's out of his hands.
Exactly, and that's something that Fessy tried to play earlier in the season. Well, I was going to get taken anyway, so I'm just going to switch it up now. Then gets stolen back by Anissa, which is still one of my favorite moments of the season thus far.
Oh, yeah. So with that, we then get Josh and Nani talking again about hoping that they're not the house vote and that Cam and Kyle select them in. Don't really see what the big deal is unless they didn't fully trust Cam and Kyle to put a team in for them. But we see Kyle putting in work. With all the rookie girls, he say, hey, put Anissa and Fessy's name down. Get your partner to put Anissa and Fessy's name down. Goes to Anissa and goes, oh, I was just talking to them about putting you in. And Anissa just goes, sort of like laughs it off and goes, oh, Kyle can't actually still be mad about this, right?
That's how Kyle is. You have to know what the people that you're playing the game with. Kyle, you screw him over, he's coming after you no matter what. And we've seen it so much this season because he always throws a quote-unquote burn vote on Fessy no matter who he's going up against or what the house truly wants in the house vote. He's going to burn his vote on Fessy and Anissa time and time again.
Yep. And with that, we already talked about the Amber B, Amber M conversation. So we go into deliberation.
There's not much to this deliberation.
No,
it was very
it's sort of like the Michi and Amber M both sort of go like, I don't want to go down yet. We get the comedy of CT and Leroy going like, oh, is that how it works now? Well, I don't want to go down then, and I don't want to go down. Like pretty much all going like, shut your mouth, kids. It's time for you to earn your stripes, lick some wounds. You need to go down there, and you are going down there.
Well, we never knew how close the vote was, which I'm a little disappointed in that.
Yeah, I didn't like that they hid it from us, especially because like they they showed them being so shocked about it all when
Yeah.
we all knew it was going to be one of those two groups. They knew it was going to be one of those two groups. So I'm like, okay. But we do
I
get...
think it might factor in, though, to a future episode where Kyle said that he's going to bring up who actually voted for who. So that's probably why they didn't show us as viewers, because it gives us a little bit of a cliffhanger. It leaves some suspense with it.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to next. They were in the booth. We don't get to see what the vote was, but prior to the vote being revealed, Kyle talks to Cam saying that Amber B doesn't want Kyle to reveal votes to people because she's betraying her friend Amber M. Amber M, already being a little sus of Amber B, goes to Kyle and says, "You need to tell me who Amber B voted for."
Which I have to give Amber M a little credit there, too, because she's able to get a read on Amber B and say, you know what, she could be turning on me, and I want to get to Kyle and see actually what happened. So both Ambers, I will say, are actually pretty strategic players.
Both sort of like side glance, like sort of look away as to say, well, we have heard your name. And once you say that, they're like, well, why are people approaching you for my name? Don't they know we're working together? So it must have had like cogs spinning in her head. And then, you can't trust everyone fully in this game.
No, but that's why I do want to give her credit, because she is able to ask the right questions, which gives her the ability to go to other people and find out if it's true or not. And they kind of, when she did address them, didn't really know what to say. They kind of shifted away, looked down at the floor. So Amber M has some strategic game.
Yeah, they were lucky that it turned out to be a men's elimination, or else there would be no storyline there.
Yeah, no.
Amber M most likely goes there, in my opinion, and then, oh well. But we get to see it next week, potentially, so there's that. We get one little other tiny scene of Anissa and Lolo apologizing to each other. Lolo for her outburst, Anissa for choking, because Anissa never intends to hurt anyone. And Lolo does just say that Anissa has talked to her more than any of the other girl vets, so she at least respects her on that level. I don't know if that's leading us to saying we're eventually going to actually see these two have to go against each other, but it's there.
That was the biggest bullshit of an apology all around with both of them.
Oh yeah. It has to be done, but you both know you're bullshitting. But yeah, elimination terrible. Activated. We're going in there and we see the asset destruction set up. Who did it? It was Tori and
Anissa.
Yeah, Tori and Anissa. But we get to see finally who the declassified agents were, the compromised agents, and it was Amber M and Michi. Shocked faces all around.
Part of me hoped maybe it was going to be Anissa and Fessy, because I would have found that extremely interesting to then see who Cam and Kyle would have actually put in against them.
Mm-hmm. It would have been a good, both results lead to good things for Kyle and Cam. Because on one hand, you have Josh and Nani, who they vote to put in against Amber M and Michi. So in this situation, you have Josh going against Michi. Josh earns his gold skull, or Michi earns the gold skull. That's one more person in the pecking order above Kyle for who people will target for their gold skull. And in the event that you had Michi and you fed Michi to Fessy, sure, Fessy's still going to be there, but you pull away the layup of the season to someone who didn't need the layup. So now the rest of the people that you see as threats need to go against each other, and they can't all get their skulls.
Which is why the season is very intriguing, because there's so many different strategies that can be put into place. We see Amber M, Michi go down. Finally, they end up voting. They say Josh and Nani. Josh and Nani down there against Amber M and Michi. We weren't sure if it was going to be a guy or a girl elimination day. TJ informs us that it is indeed the guys. Josh and Michi are set up to go against each other, and TJ provides a twist that they didn't see before, and he brings in the slide puzzle.
Yes, so it was called not Asset Destruction, but Asset Destruction 2. So before you had to pull the heavy crate the heavier crate with the heavier bombs in there because it was a guy's elimination, because everything needs to be heavier there. You must also complete a slide puzzle that looks like a skull, that looks like what you're targeting at. Once you complete the puzzle, you then pull the crate, and it's asset destruction that we saw earlier. So same stuff, get the balls out of the thing and hit all the targets that you need to hit, and you win and get your gold skull.
All I have to say is, I'm sorry, it's an embarrassment for both of them for very different reasons.
Michi never gets out of the running blocks. He's literally still doing the puzzle as it's ending. There was no way he should have been still doing his puzzle with how poorly Josh did in this elimination. So Josh does the puzzle really fast. Like, yes, in Total Madness, he didn't do well in that one puzzle. No. What people have been saying of him in the background is he actually is good at puzzles. And you sort of see it here. He does that slide puzzle real quick. They're like, man, that was really fast. Like, everyone's like, wow, that was actually somewhat impressive. And he's doing that. He pulls the crate pretty easily and quickly. Everyone's like, oh, wow, Josh is actually doing really well. Cue the dodo music of him throwing the medicine balls at the signs and hitting the crossbars every single time.
I couldn't decide which elimination was worse, that with him trying to throw those balls or the one where they were trying to play soccer.
The soccer one's worse.
Yeah.
Because it only happened once. This one isn't as bad because at least one person did okay-ish. Like, one person actually completed it. Whereas they literally were pathetic when it was Nelson and Corey doing the soccer with the flaming soccer ball.
All I wish that they did for this elimination was have the little ticker in the side corner with how many times Josh threw it and it didn't break. I just want to see that number.
I want to know what the time limit was on this one. I want to know if it took longer than, even with the puzzle, like subtract the puzzle time and just do from pulling the crate to doing that. I feel he had to have taken much longer than Anissa and Tori did, because he was just like so unathletic.
It was sad.
Which I shouldn't be surprised. Like, when you saw him on Big Brother, it wasn't like he was this big, like, Adonis-looking guy who was lifting weights and looked athletic. Like, he's a big, stocky guy. I'm not sure how much exposure he had to sports growing up, but it was like what Fezzi said. Dude has 2 left feet.
Well, Josh is way more physical and fit now than he was going into Big Brother.
Yeah. But still, like, you can get strong, but if you're not used to doing things athletically, it's not just something that you do. It's a lot harder than people think. And Josh saw it firsthand tonight.
Which is why everyone has their own individual talents. People are really artistic. People are athletic. And that's okay. I think the hard part for me is, I've said this before on the podcast, where people can do poorly at their beginning stages of getting integrated into the challenge and can get stronger, get better, get faster, do more puzzles, learn what they need to do to get themselves to finals. So we have seen it happen before.
Yeah. But what was more embarrassing? The performance or the aftermath of him winning? It was like as if he won an Oscar, that he won the NBA finals with a game-winning 3 off with someone right in his face. He swishes it in as the buzzer beater goes off. He's literally shouting and crying in his confessional, trash talking Devin, saying, "Oh, Devin, let's do a hall brawl next, bro." And I'm like, Josh, look at who you competed against. Yes, a win's a win. Good job, you got the win. But there's qualities to these wins. That's a very low quality win. And there's no one that was up there, including Devin, that was watching that and going, oh, I don't want to go against Josh in elimination.
Devin said, I hope there's no balls involved. Here's the thing. Josh acted like he won the damn show. I have never seen someone that did that piss poor in an elimination where they were able to somehow pull it out and react that way when they finally did win. And the fact that he even has to state in there, this is the first time I won an elimination, that's saying something in itself with how bad the performance was, and him then also saying, I won my first one, go me. No.
I still can't go over the fact that he lost to Jordan in a tug of war when Jordan has one hand and that hand doesn't even have like all of its fingers. Like, Josh, there's a reason why it took Michi of all people for you to get your first win. And TJ here gives Michi a little bit of that by saying, dude, your performance was so sad. Michi goes, well, I was actually trying. And he's like, yes, that's why it's sad. But I like you, and I think we will see you again. Will we see Michi again?
I don't know. Here's the thing. He was funny in some of his confessionals, but I didn't get enough camera time of him for me to sit back and go, I need Michi again. I need to see him for another round. I would rather see Asaf from last season come back over Michi, because I think he brings a little bit more to the table.
I agree. Like with Michi, I bet like the cast probably liked him. He seems like he's a very down to earth, chill dude. Like not high drama, so really nothing really problematic there. But outside of his funny confessionals of him saying, I don't know what the fuck's going on and I'm clueless, like what else is there to his story outside of, oh, I want money? Like everyone wants money that's on this show, or fame or whatever, some clout. I feel like he's better off as a one and done challenge.
I agree. I think he's going to be one and done. If you're talking about someone that might be easygoing for production to work with, he could be someone that's on that list as an alternate. If someone drops and they go, let's just bring on Michi. He doesn't really give us any issues on the production side, and we don't have to worry about him in a house. Other than that, I don't see him being someone people are clamoring for to have come back on the season.
Yeah, and to cap it all off, so Josh gets the last gold skull for the men. They make a really big point of all 5 gold skulls for the men are gone, while there's still only 2 that are taken by the women. So the women need to catch up. Josh decides to stay with Nany because he thinks they mesh well together, which I agree. I think they do have a good kinship with each other, that they can at least get along for it, which is a big thing for Josh to get along with someone. So there's that, which leaves Amber M as the rogue agent, which was all part of Cam's plan because she wanted the weakest girl to not be able to go in on a girl's elimination.
Amber M just gets to chill the next round. I did find it funny, though, with Nany saying to Josh, don't leave me. I'm thinking, girl, if he leaves you, you might have a better shot with somebody else.
Yeah, but like I said, I think it's because I feel like she's more focused on, I want to go with someone that I get along with, that I'm friends with outside of the game. And she's friends with Josh outside of the game. So she's like, okay, I can be myself with him. We can vent with each other, but we know they probably know more about how to keep each other in check and not stressed out. So I think for her, that's what she's looking for. And like, that's why she didn't feel the same way about Kyle. So she wasn't as upset of Kyle leaving her.
I still disagree. Nany,
performance-wise, I disagree with her.
Yeah.
But I understand her mindset.
I get you understand her mindset, but Nany, do you want the money or not? Because Josh is probably not the best partner for you to go to the final with. I have said on the podcast too, it does come down to communication. Their communication is good with each other, but if she wants to win, she needs a stronger partner, and it's not Josh.
Yeah, but for now, they're stuck together like glue. Amber M's on an island. We're probably going to see her blow up on Amber B, because I'm sure it's going to come out that Amber B voted against her. So we're going to
it's coming out. Kyle wants to instigate. He's going to make sure that firework is lit.
Kyle learned from Johnny Bananas. Someone needs to be the pot stirrer. Johnny ain't there, so Kyle's like, let me try this on. This fits right. I'm ready to stir the pot. Let's turn up the heat a little bit. We're making some soup here. What do you want?
He's going to swoop right in.
He sure is. And you know what? I give Kyle the semi MVP of this episode just for his confessionals. He's such a good narrator by putting in humor and self-deprecation into it. I think it's fantastic. He was a great find for the challenge.
He was a great find because we've seen him time and time again coming back, and he's got to be someone where production goes, he's on our list every single time, and if he's able to be here, we want him.
Absolutely. But yeah, I'd pretty much make the double agents our MVPs. Their plan, we'll see how much in the aftermath it pays off for them. But they're two people with gold skulls who got a part of a layup out, did a favor for a group that hopefully their larger group will not target them in the future.
And they came out with no enemies. No enemies from that.
And lined up for Cam's shot on Teresa next round.
Time will tell. We'll see if that happens. And just with that, I think that wraps us up for tonight. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us on Reality NSFW. Be sure to tune in live tomorrow night for Jonny, Zack, and Marie Roda, where they will also be breaking down episode number 8 of the Challenge Double Agents. Their episodes have been fantastic. The podcasts are great. If you want to see absolute craziness, tune in because you actually don't know what's going to happen on their podcast. People's Wi-Fi can get cut out. It's you have to see it for yourself. Trust me, check it out.
Yeah, and while you're here, before you leave, please click subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and click that thumbs up on this video to show that you enjoyed our content, and be aware for when future content goes out. And if you want to be more involved, become a patron for Reality NSFW, where you get access to the secret Facebook page with all the other patrons, Zack, Matt, Zack, Matt, Jonny, and Karen all do a patron Q&A weekly. I was just on the most recent Q&A, and it was a hell of a time with some crazy stories that were unloaded there. And they are also in the middle of covering Australian Survivor, the season from 2017, which is an amazing season. So if you want more content, you're missing Survivor, become a patron. You're going to get that content, and it's very good.
Yeah, and Karen is also doing a rewind watch with Professor Tim Wilson. They're going through previous seasons of Survivor. Right now they are on Africa, I believe, a little bit towards the tail end of the season. So if you're interested in hearing about some old season coverage, be sure to check out that podcast as well over at Reality NSFW.
And with that, we're out, guys.
Now that the holidays are over, it's all too common to set health goals that never actually stick. New Year's resolutions of the past, we're looking at you. And when it comes to eating better and consuming less sugar, let's be honest, most healthy snacks don't taste very good. They don't fill you up, and they certainly don't satisfy your cravings. This episode is sponsored by Monk Pack, who makes snacks that taste like our favorite sugary treats, but with less than 1 gram of sugar.
Monk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars contain less than 1 gram of sugar, 2 to 3 grams of net carbs, and they're only 150 calories.
They're great for anyone following a keto lifestyle and the perfect snack for anyone who is trying to eat better or cut back on sugar and carbs without sacrificing taste.
Yeah, that's so true. I'm personally not a keto eater, but I love these nut and seed bars. I try to have one of these always on me for a snack because I'm usually trying to train for a new running distance I'm trying to hit. I think 2021 is going to be the year for my first full marathon. And I think Monk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars are going to help me get there because they're giving me the energy I need and the nutrition I need to make those health goals possible.
Wow. Monk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars have the perfect balance of sweet and salty, a crunch from whole nuts and seeds, but still manage to be soft and chewy. How do they do it? They come in delicious flavors like sea salt dark chocolate, pecan almond, and my favorite, no contest, love these so much, game changers if you will, the peanut butter dark chocolate.
So good. They're perfect for a quick snack to satisfy your sweet tooth without any guilt. Enjoy Monk Pack Keto Nut and Seed Bars as a quick breakfast, while running errands, or after a workout.
In addition to being keto-friendly, these bars are gluten-free, plant-based, and non-GMO. So with no soy, trans fat, sugar alcohols, or artificial flavors.
They really taste incredible, and you can't beat the low sugar nutrition or taste they provide. And by shopping online, you can avoid another trip to the grocery store by getting Monk Pack delivered right to your door.
Try it for yourself and see. And we have a special deal for our listeners. Get 20% off your first purchase of any Monk Pack product by visiting monkpack.com and entering promo code SURVIVOR at checkout.
And Monk Pack is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll exchange the product or refund your money, whichever you prefer.
So to get started, just go to monkpack.com, that's monkpack.com, and select any product, and then use promo code SURVIVOR, they love it when we do that, at checkout to save 20% off your purchase.
Monk Pack, delicious, nutritious foods you can count on, and we thank them for sponsoring the Reality NSFW podcast.
Any fool can climb a wall or crawl through sand, but as every fan knows, Survivor challenges are won or lost at the puzzle. The most successful players are puzzle masters, and you can be one too. Fairplay, Perplexers Puzzles creates handmade miniature replicas of many of Survivor's greatest and most challenging puzzles. Find out if you have what it takes by visiting the Perplexers Puzzle store on Etsy, or simply visiting survivorpuzzle.com. Enter promo code FAIRPLAY, FAIRPLAY, at checkout for a 10% discount. And let me tell you, I'm hanging out on my patio on these beautiful summer nights. I have Zack Hacker coming over to my house, and we did the fire puzzle, the season 40 puzzle. I got the tree puzzle, and Zack was like, dude, these things are fucking awesome. So if you are a fan of Survivor, as Zack is, and I know he has a true, authentic Survivor puzzle that I have personally done, these Perplexers puzzles are the real deal. So go to survivorpuzzle.com right now, enter promo code FAIRPLAY at checkout for a 10% discount, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed.